everyone, and welcome back to Emkin Gardening. So today is the day that we combat our arch nemesis, the aphids. It is that time of the season where we find them all over our rose bushes. So in this video we're going to show you what they look like, how to find them, and what you can do, what steps you can take to get rid of them. Let's get into it. So first of all, aphids are soft body creatures that feast on the soft tissue parts of new plants that are opening. So when you have roses that are opening with these little leaves up here, they kind of pop up early in the spring before they fully leaf out. You can often find an aphid. And even if you look right here, you can see that soft-bodied aphid. They are usually green, but you can also find them in different colors. We have some examples of pink aphids. And then we also deal with like black aphids that go actually on our cherry trees. When you find an adult aphid, chances are there's going to be a bunch of babies around it. All right, so right here, if you get in close, you can see how they cluster. The adult aphid is the big fat one. And then all of those little itty bitty babies, you can see right there. Another way to find them is they often like to cluster together. So with the adults and the babies, you'll pretty much find them all together. They also will just be on like a stem all together, clustered there. They're kind of easier to find that way. Unfortunately, when you find them that way, it typically means that you have a bigger infestation that you would ideally want. But you can tackle it no matter at what stage of the life cycle they have. What they do to your plants, like our roses, is they attack that soft tissue. They will make the leaves start curling because they're eating it. So you'll have all of these curled leaves, and then they'll leave behind a residue called honeydew, and it kind of makes your rose leaves shiny, and that's a good indicator that you also have aphids. That honeydew is like a sticky wet substance that you'll find, and it can harbor like viruses and fungus and mold for your plants, which is not the best. Some preventative measures that you can take is like we did in the spring when we pruned. We moved everything away from the base because that's where they're wintering over. So we actually have noticed a lot fewer aphids this year than we have in the past, which is fantastic. Just making sure your roses are healthy because insects are attracted to plants that they know are struggling. So making sure they're fertilized, that they are having enough space to grow. So if you have a container rose, making sure that the container is big enough for it to grow. It's not stressed. If the plant's stressed, it's going to cause some problems. We also are seeing some like chlorosis on some of our roses too, which might also be contributing to the fact that they're more vulnerable right now. So some preventatives, make sure all of that stuff is away from the base of the plant in the very early spring. Some really easy things to do if you catch them early enough is to just spray them off with a hose, spray them down, get rid of them, does a good trick. Then put like warm soapy water down, and that should do a really good job with it too. You can invite natural predators into your garden, like ladybugs. Ladybugs are the natural predators of aphids. So if you can get a hold of a bulk pack of ladybugs, or if you just naturally have a lot of ladybugs in your garden, which are, I'm jealous of you, then it'll take care of a lot of them because that's what they eat. You can also have host plants. Like I know nasturtium is a really good aphid host plant. So if you're kind of against spraying stuff, which a lot of gardeners are, you can get a host plant in your garden, have it set up like a nasturtium. It has pretty flowers, but it will attract all the aphids to that plant. They'll still be in your garden, but they will be more attracted to that particular plant and leave the rest of your plants alone. So that's another kind of natural way. And the last natural way that I'm going to talk to you about is one that my pre-K kidders will not be happy about. So if you're watching this, I'm really sorry, because we're nature protectors in pre-K. However, with these aphids, they're just going to die. So one of my favorite ways to just get rid of aphids is to squish them. Because again, they're soft-bodied insects, so you can just squish them. And it's really quick, and you just squish, 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 and you kill a lot very quickly. So typically that's what we do in the garden, is we just squish them when we start seeing them open up. Unfortunately, we are noticing a little bit more of an infestation on some of the other roses, so we are going to be doing some spraying, which I'll talk about next. Alright, so if you are okay with spraying some things, we do have some recommendations that we do use in our garden when we have a larger infestation happening. These are all Bonide products, and with Bonide products, it says right on the label, they're organic products, so it's for organic gardening. If you ever see the Bonide with this kind of like goldish tan coloring, you know that it's going to be organic spray. So, for example, just neem oil, and some, this is Mite X. It has like garlic essential oils and like clove oils. So it's a lot of just natural products in the spray. And then the final one. Huh, Lexi, you like Rose RX, huh? 3-in-1. It kind of hits all of the different life cycles of the insect, which is fantastic. So these are all organic sprays, like I said, but they are still oil sprays. So you want to make sure that when you are spraying them, it's at dusk. That way any of the beneficial pollinators are not around. These will cover the soft body aphids and kind of just suffocate them and smother them a little bit. But it would do the same thing with like the wings of a bumblebee. So you want to make sure that you're spraying them at a time when all of those insects have gone to bed. And so we're going to actually come back later to do the spraying. So at dusk time or really early in the morning, where the leaves have time to dry off before the early pollinators come up. And not in the heat of the day, obviously, because of the insects, but it'll burn the leaves too. When the sun hits it, it'll burn the leaves, and so obviously you don't want that. So we're going to spray all of our roses, and we'll show you how to spray them at dusk. So we're gonna pause this video and catch ya in a couple hours. So it's been 2 hours. We're going to show you how to spray down your rose bush when you're dealing with the aphids. So we're going to use our Rose RX right now. What you're going to do is go in and completely saturate the plant. Since we showed you that sometimes those eggs and babies are on the bottom parts of the leaf, so you really have to, like, when you're looking for them, flip over the leaf and check it out to see if there's any babies there. So when you're spraying, you're going to saturate the whole plant. So the top, the stems, the undersides of the leaves, and then around the base of the area, because again, those big adult ones can fall off and they'll land, and you will need to do something to them if you don't want them to just crawl right back up the plant. So we'll show you how to do it. You kind of want the plant to be completely dripping wet, and you're just going to go through the tops, try to get the ground, and I'm just going to quickly go up underneath the belly part. So we're going to do that to all of our rose bushes. We're going to use all of the sprays just because we have quite a few rose bushes. You're going to do this once a week for a few weeks, like maybe 1 or 2 weeks, to see, and just keep checking to see how the population is decreasing. If you need to go 3 weeks, then do it 3 weeks. All right, let's go. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching this video on how to deal with your aphids. I hope that you found it helpful and it gave you some confidence in taking on this project. Super easy. Do any of the methods that we talked about and your plants will be healthy and thriving and beautiful for the season. If you liked this video, you can comment down below and give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Happy gardening! Okay, so it's been 2 hours. Lexi's still going strong.
Do you want to play? It's detective Billy.
Bye. Oh my god, Lexi.